Alrighty. We are live back testing. No one's in the live yet, but I need to switch my settings to make them. I'm on live, so. Okay. So today I want to back test. I actually want to try a little bit of retail mixed with ICT. I want to back test trend lines with market structure shifts, and then obviously stop losses and take profits at liquidity points. So let's just see how that looks. Like next New York session, we'll start at 9:30. So basically, I mean, I don't really trade. Okay, so 9:30, we'll have to wait for the candle to finish, but I guess we would draw a trend line here. And then let's see how it keeps playing out. Sometimes this website takes forever to load. Okay, it's continuing down. So, therefore, this trend line is really invalid, honestly. Okay. I mean, we did get a big move down, so I guess it's still kind of valid. We do get a market structure shift here on the 5-minute. So let's just see. Okay, yeah, didn't break the trend line, so no entry. I don't trade trend lines, so we're gonna see how this works. And then it just ran down all day. So this is the day where, cause especially like the other trend line before we got on the chart, there was one here, I guess, which lined up with the 9:30 entry. So, but again, we had 2 touches and a break, no retest. Technically, you know, ICT wise, fair value gap retap to enter was our macro trade, but let's just see. I mean, on the hourly, that trend line held, but I was not even thinking over. I was thinking break above. So like I said, I don't really trade trend lines. So let's just go to the next one. I don't know. We might not do this much longer because it's just not our tea, but let's just see. Okay, so maybe we'll mark both. We'll mark like, maybe we'll have to mark 2, like we have to mark like this. And then we have to mark both, maybe. That's what we were supposed to do. Maybe we can do it a little wider. And then we do have a gap here. Okay, let's see how this plays out. Market structure shift here on the 1 hour, but obviously that's a big move. So let's see. Okay, we did break this one now, but and we do get a market structure shift. So I don't know. Target would be this liquidity point here, but is there another one on the 1 hour we could target? Because I'm like, no, we don't. So I guess that's a terrible trade, but it might go here, sweep this liquidity in reverse. With this 1 hour chart, let's look on the 4 hour chart. Yeah, these are like, you have to just trade what makes sense to you, because this does not make sense to me. And some people do trade trend lines, but I've seen it on like a sideways day where it's like going sideways and you can just like, or technically like a scalp like this. Let me see. Yeah, okay, see. But I think like a scalp like this is really how I used to trade trend lines, like really tight. And then when we crossed again, like this, like it's like a scalping strategy. It's not like a overall. So let's try that for a few, and then if not, we're gonna go back to our regular ICT. So let's just make this full screen. And let's go to the next New York session. It's just, I don't know how to trade it per se with, okay, so basically it'd be like, something like this probably, maybe let's do the body. So I'm like, because this trend line was the one that broke to the upside. So then you get in and just take it to here. It's like small scalps. I don't know how high I put the stop loss because it's a big ass candle, but see, and you lost. And you lost. So let's not do that. Let's just go back to our ICT and what we know, and you know, stick to what we know. If you want to watch trend line videos, you can, but I was watching some before this, but it's just not my tea. So let's go to the next New York session and go back to how I trade. Just liquidity points and market structure shifts. So on the hourly, if you need me to make it bigger, if you see, we have external liquidity. Boom, boom, boom. I mark them all. Then we have some internal ones. And then we have a gap. And this is all on the 1 hour. So if you want it to go down, you want it to come up, sweep something, go down, want it to go up, want it to come down, sweep, and then go up. It's what you want. But we just play off of what the market gives us. And if we're doing our regular, we're waiting for the macro. We're waiting for that 950, or at least just any trade after 950. New week opening gap. Nice. Oh yeah, it's Monday. New week opening gap. So this is a Monday week opening gap. Boom. Maybe we'll go up to the next liquidity, and then we got a nice wick back down. Okay, now that the candle closed, once we invert this gap, we want to enter. Okay, big displacement. We love that. Well, you gotta take it down. No, we're no longer scared of big stop losses. So we gotta just do what we gotta do. Was there another liquidity point? Let's just make sure there's not another one up there. I mean, there is one here, but we did get a nice rejection off of it. Okay, let's see if it actually goes our way. If not, we would have just, I mean, this is basically reversing on us, but it still went our way majority of the time. We got not hit by a tick, so you just would have either closed your trade, or you can still wait it out. I think it's reversing though, but it could be just being scary and selling early. So what I do when trades take a long time like this, because it's already 2 p.m., like I said, if we're confident in our trade, once we come and break back below this swing low, I'm just out for something like that. Like if it hasn't hit my full TP, I'll just wait for it to come back down, which is still a great trade. And or, you know, you could have just got in, sold once you saw it reverse, which might have been like the close of this candle, which is still a decent trade. It went inverses and ran down after a liquidity sweep. Yeah, this is like 2 p.m., so I would have been out. We could see if it keeps going to the gap, but there was a liquidity point here for your target if you want to just target here, or there was one here, are the lowest ones before the gap. So it actually just swept that liquidity perfectly. This one here, under this Asian session, and it did not go all the way to the gap, which, you know, it's fine, but that's still a good trade. But see, it started to reverse on us, so this is a big reversal, all this. So I would just took my rundown, even could have sold here, take partials here, and that's how we trade. Just sent a gift. Thank you so much, 9 to 5 trader. I think I follow some of your content, because don't you trade at night, like after work, which is good. Thank you for the gift. I didn't even know you can. I know you can get gifts on here, but I don't really understand them. And even on the 1 hour, it was a little choppy, so it didn't really sweep any liquidity. But right, 9 to 5 in here. We got some goats in here. New York session, next New York session. I just heard his name. Yeah, it says 9 to 5 trader, but it has 2 R's at the end, so I don't know if that's the original or not. Because you know how some people are, they'll make new pages and change like a letter or two, but seems like him. Okay, are we on the next day? Because I always forget. Okay, we're on the next day now. Hourly chart, liquidity. We have one here, and we have equal highs here, and we have, it is, where'd you learn how to trade? Why are you ignoring? Sorry, so it's hard for me to watch the chat and watch my back testing. So sorry, Sean. Let me see what you said. Oh, 9 to 5 trader said, what's up? I would say wait for market structure shift. Yeah, same. Sorry, where'd you learn to trade? Oh my God, I've been missing all your stuff. ICT. I just watched ICT's 2022 mentorship first. No, I watched TJR's boot camp first, and then I watched 2022 mentorship at ICT, and then just stayed with ICT. And then now anything specific, I'll go to T-Trades. I have the mentorship pulled up right here. Search it on YouTube. It's 41 videos. Let's see if I can. No, that's not what I want.
Dancing pandas don't sell CR.
Also, I started playing music. I played music for like 2 seconds on my live yesterday trading, and I got a YouTube violation. I forgot about YouTube and music. So I watched this playlist beautifully. And it made me instantly profitable almost. Then TJR's bootcamp, even though I don't support TJR because he's a racist, but obviously if you are too, go support him. Also, I always say that one bootcamp is really good, so watch the bootcamp and don't support any more of his stuff. But look into supply and demand order blocks. I don't like order blocks. I tried to backtest them yesterday, and I did not like how it moved off them. So yeah, I just mark out liquidity like this. I'll mark out some internal ones sometimes. We didn't sweep it, and then I just wait for a liquidity sweep, and I try to only trade the macros. Like I used to trade the 9:30 open, but I got faked out a lot. So I just start trading after 9:50, 10:10. And yeah, I just like this move, you don't even care about it because it's just gonna go down and it's gonna reverse and it's gonna give you a bigger trade. But you know, if you trade 9:30, that's a liquidity sweep to the downside. I was playing these, like trying to play off just the 9:30 candle, but again, sometimes I got faked out. All right, we did get a nice wick off of this. Could be a turtle soup if you want it. We're gonna wait for inverse of this for value gap right here. Just to be safe. Boom. So that was actually a beautiful turtle soup. I might have took this turtle soup, not gonna lie to y'all. If the stop loss is tiny as fuck, I would have took that turtle soup. Wick, my entry wouldn't have been that good. I wish it was. I'm not that good yet. But as soon as we got that fat wick right there, then take it to the other side, or you can even take it to here. Like I don't like to get greedy. If I'm in a 1 to 3, I'm like, okay. Or, you know, it depends. And some days, like Friday, you couldn't get greedy. It didn't even go to that profit target. Sorry, I don't know why I'm zoomed in. See, we already hit this. That's why I was like, I don't get greedy. But it probably will go to the next days. But who knows? This is why I don't get greedy, because I'm like, y'all are still on the charts. I mean, obviously you make more money if it hits, and it's gonna hit now. Okay, so at 2 p.m., that shit would have hit, which is great. Like if you have the patience for that, and or you want to Sometimes I do, and since I'm on live now, I might as well sit. It's more money for me, even though I don't make money for my lives yet. But I went away from ICT and it's been the best decision I've made. This is why I asked. I mean, I just said that yesterday. Garland Trades, he just quit ICT too. So if it works for you, it works for you. TJR is a racist. There's a video pinned on my page. Someone in his chat was like, "You look like a monkey," and he says, "I'm not even black." Like, no hesitation. Like, why the fuck would you say that? Like, what? Just say, "No, I'm not a monkey. I look better than you." That's what he should have said. But saying, "Oh, I'm not even black," when someone calls you a monkey is fucking crazy. And he also says the N-word in his live streams a lot. TGR is literally racist. Or just panders to racist fans, which is what he does, and I can't respect it. And I've said that for a long time. I haven't said he's racist, but I've said, like, after his boot camp, which is funny because another trader on TikTok says his name's like Jiggy or something. He's like, after the boot camp, like, don't fuck with TJR. Like, his content is just so immature and cringy. I mean, he's like, what, 22, so fair, but I'm not 22, and I'm also black, and I'm also a woman, so there's no point of me to be in there. But the boot camp did help me understand ICT if ICT is too confusing at first. Like, you just start with ICT, it's like, fuck, what is this? And then you'll watch like TGR or someone who makes it easier, and then you understand everything ICT is saying basically after you watch, someone else. But yes, TGR is a racist. And well, Sean, what do you trade now? Trend lines, order blocks, supply and demand. Okay, this is one of those days where it's definitely going up. I don't like to go on with the bias, but there's no liquidity to reverse from until here. We already have swept this one, so we could reverse from here. Then on the sell side, yeah, but Garland Trades just started trading like breakouts at 9:30, break and retest. That's what Garland trades now, he says. Institutional supply and demand is what I went to, and it is a ton better. Impulse, balance, impulse. Guess it depends on how you look at it. Some people just say shit to say it with no real meaning behind it. That's still racism, though. Like, that's the point. Like, a lot of people are so used to just being racist that they just say shit and don't care about how it affects other people. Like, and I hate when a lot of black people say that. Like, it's just a joke. Because I like to argue with racists in my comments. That's why sometimes I have to take breaks on social media, because I get strikes. But I was eating up this racist this white man, because he was arguing on this gym content. And then this other guy, who wasn't even black actually, he was Hispanic. He was like, well, my black friends let me say the N-word and all this stuff and da-da-da. And I'm like, that's them, but that's not okay. Like, I don't understand why, like, him saying that, jokes or not, that's not okay. Like, I don't get when people say that. Like, okay, well, then go support him. Like, go make him richer. Like, dude, I'm not going to. Here's something to inverse from, and especially because the ICT doesn't do that, and he is cocky and he cusses and he does shit, but he doesn't make racist jokes. Neither does Justin Wheeler. Like, there's so many other traders you can follow who actually trade better than TJR, who just get to the point. Like, go do that shit on your own time. But if you're teaching people, like, I feel that's weird. Even more trades is, his mom is half black, and he says people ask him to the N-word all the time, and he's like, I'm not saying it. And he has black in him. He's not black enough, I feel like, to say it, but like, TGR has 0. And TGR called out exposed FX for being a racist just to do the same shit. So it's just weird. But listen, if you're probably young, so you probably don't give a fuck. We got a liquidity sweep, so now we're either waiting for a reversal or a strong sign of a continuation. I don't really play continuation plays, but try to mix it with ICT. Yeah, I don't really like supply and demand. It's just an order block. Like, I don't understand. And a lot of people who I see play supply and demand, I mean, they kind of gamble and they just take like these small, like, it'll move for like one candle and they like risk a lot on this one candle and then they move on. I never see them take like an actual like decently long trade, which you don't have to take a long trade, but like a trade that has like conviction. Do I believe black people can be racist? Yes and no, because people love to say black people now are racist, but they don't take accountability of how they've been treated by people for hundreds of years. So I hate when white people say that, like, oh, now people are racist to us. It's like, no, you guys yell at people and you call people in words and you terrorize them for years, and then when they don't want to be around you, it's, oh, they're racist. No, they didn't say they don't like you because of your skin color. They don't like you because you treat people poorly because of the way they look. Like, I hate when people say that. Like, they're like, oh, well, you can't be racist towards white people because of the system. It's not even a system. It's literally just actions. It's literally actions. It's not even. I have a lot of friends that are white. I grew up in. I went to a PW. I went to UGA. Go Dogs, best school in the world. I have a lot of white friends, and my friends also stand up for civil rights. They're not terrible people. And once I learned that, then I really stopped letting people skate. Because I went to high school with a lot of people who, once Trump came out, showed that they're fucking racist as shit. And I was like, and they were calling me sensitive for speaking up about black issues. And I was like, okay, that's how you feel. But now I have white friends who speak up on black issues. So it's like, no, y'all are just weird. But I don't like to get into politics on my shit because we can all kiki on here and then we start talking about politics and now y'all gonna leave my life, which is fine if you want to. I really don't care. But I just like to focus on the money and the trading because I want us to learn something, white or black or not. Because really the real war is the class war, not even the race war, but they've convinced a lot of us to have a race war instead of a class war. And we need to eat the rich, but that's another story for another day. Okay, we still don't have a market structure shift, really. We kind of have this long candle, but no fair value gap made to inverse, like nothing. So we're really just waiting for some signs. So if someone can look at gold on the weekly impulse. I don't trade gold, I only trade the NASDAQ. So if someone or a race does something bad, the other person or the race can do what they did. No, I'm not saying that. But a person can choose to not be around someone who treated them poorly. And I can tell you're a man because they all do the same thing with women who don't want to be around abusers. Like, if someone treats you poorly and y'all like, oh, now you're a misandrist. No, but like, I've had experience with people treating me poorly and they just happen to be a man or happen to be white. So I don't want, it's like Muhammad Ali said, like, there's some snakes that might not bite you and some snakes that will, but why would you just hang around snakes if you know you can get bit? Like, it's common sense. I'm sorry to say. Like I said, I go in with, I'm going with judgment because I had people tell me that in Hollywood, like, these white people don't care about you, these white people don't give a fuck about you in your career, like, don't go in there. And it held a lot of people back, and I made great friends in Hollywood, and I worked with so many amazing white people that I'm super friends with to this day, and I love them so much because I didn't go in with the conviction. But as soon as someone shows me who the fuck they are, though, it is quick. And I worked in an industry that I love where I can say what the fuck I want to say. Like, I still get hired. I can still call all the stylists I work with right now whenever I cuss out racists on social media because they're not terrible white people. And that's the best part about it. I actually had a producer who's like my work mom who's like the same way. She advocates for shit. But that's like LA. Like, people are cooler in LA. And there are still obviously racist people in LA, but they get exposed quickly and then you just move on, or they just are smart enough to just do it at home and we just make money and make art on set. Okay, now we got market structure shift. Have some swing highs to target. It's kind of after my 12 o'clock, but we did a fat gap. We did hit some swing highs. I'm not really getting a strong reversal-ish, but we can take it to this liquidity point if we're being a little scary, or just take it to this strong wick here. Let's see, and the stop loss isn't that bad, so I'm not mad at this. Just target this swing high here, and then we don't have to take it all the way up to this swing high or this swing high, but not stopped out yet. And then news. Okay, yeah, so you always check your news on forexfactory.com because you don't want to be in a trade at news, because like this, even though that wasn't a bad stop out, but sometimes news can just run all the way up against you, and there's that. Okay, look at the weekly NASDAQ impulse, balance impulse on the top, 25,000, a great place to TP. That's institutional buying and selling. I don't know what that means. On the weekly, I don't trade higher time frames like that because I intraday trade and I only trade the morning New York session. So the weekly can be bearish, everything can be bearish, but on my session it wants to go bullish. So I don't really, and I catch like a good move to liquidity. You know what I'm saying? But the weekly, look at the weekly on NASDAQ impulse move. Okay, I mean, let's go. We can look at it. But this is, I'm back testing, so this is not right now. This is October 23rd, 2023. So when you trade supply and demand, what are your supply zones? Are they just big movements like this? So basically, this supply zone here for the first one, basically. Is that how you trade? So once we came back in here and pushed, that's how you trade your supply and demand. Which it kind of lines up. It's kind of the same as like, it's just like, I feel like with order blocks and supply and demand, so you wait for like taps like this. I mean, let's try it. I kind of back test something new anyway. So thank you, Sean, for that. Let's see. What time frame do you use when you start making supply zones? Second one's a little off, but yes, only big money can make moves that big. I agree. So do you mark on the hourly or the 15 or the 5? And what time frame? One is supply and demand. Or 2 different order blocks. I mean, yeah, demand's on the bottom, supply's on the top, or whatever. But I just meant like, because every new swing high technically is an order block. But, so I guess, yeah, I mean, oh, this is the weekly, but let's look on the 5 minute. And let's make it gigantic, and let's see. That's what I'm saying. That's what we're here to do. I'm backtesting every night for the rest of the year, so we need new strategies. So I guess this one, that news candle, went into the supply zone. Something like that. And then what? Did it keep going down? I mean, this is the end of the day. This is what, 2 o'clock? How you can be on the charts. Okay, well, let's go to the next day. Just better, success, more. Well, yeah, whatever happens, I mean, whatever you prefer. I traded support resistance at first, and I got better when I started trading ICT. But I have seen like different market conditions. Okay, so when it's continuations like this, supply zone is where? Here? Right? So when it bounces in here, you take the trade. I mean, yeah, nope. I mean, I guess you did supply. That's what I'm saying. I mean, valid trade, because a lot of supply and demand people I see, like, they're risking so much. And it's like, what? There's this one guy on here. I forgot his name. He's like this light-skinned biracial guy, and he always he sounds like he's AI when he talks, and his eyes are like so wide. I forgot his name. It's like TR Profits or like PR Profits or something like that. And he trades, and he's just like, at the supply zone, he like risk a bunch, and it's like 2 seconds, and the candle hasn't even closed, and he's like, up 3K today. But I mean, if he does that often, then it doesn't matter. And I think Doyle trades, he kind of trades like that. When I watch his trade recaps, he kind of like just takes a risk a lot, and they never take a trade that's like long, which again is fair. I feel like once you start making a lot of money and you have a lot of money, there's no point of being on the charts all day. So valid, but it's just like I don't see the story to the trade, I guess. But yes, you have it, understand it's filling unfulfilled orders to hit, and it bounced out. So you use equilibrium. Look how bearish the candle closed out. Which candle? This one? So this will be, so once this supply zone or demand zone is disrespected, then you get in. I mean, again, what is this? 9:30. Yeah, this is what Doyle trades. I mean, we can see if it works too. Let's see if this is like a 9:30 breakout session trade. You know what I'm saying? Like a 9:30 open. Okay, now where is the supply demand zone here? Is it all the way down here now, or is it this? Or do we mark this top one to go down? You see what I'm saying? Is it like this to go lower? Maybe. Okay, so yeah, all right. To where? Just to the candles close. Ooh. I don't know, man. You have to understand what you were just doing was really good, but the zones, look at high time frames and see how easy. Look at higher time frames for the trend. Okay, what I said that. What higher time frame? The hour? And then do you do like this maybe? And then it should reverse from here? Oh, well. It reversed a little. Obviously, these are hour candles, so I guess. But see, to me, it's like, I mean, obviously, this is the hour chart. So, yes, this is a good move. Let's see what it looks like on 5. But for me, like, that's not worth it to me. Especially on futures prop firms. This is like, nothing. Like, I can't trade that. I need like a move. Once I'm a millionaire, yeah, I'll be taking shit like this. But when you have a little money, you need like just better moves. Like the move I caught yesterday. Like a big nice move like this. And we took it to this liquidity point off a market structure shift. And we inverted that for value gap. Like that, these are the moves I like to take. And this wasn't even that best of a move because the stop loss was kind of tight. I mean, kind of low. But that I like to take, like, I like a story to how I trade. For me, though. So, like I said, if supply and demand is working for you, it works for you. Let's see the 15-minute. But it does not work for me. I am trying to find a slightly better ICT strategy, though. I'm not going to lie to you. But, well, it just summer price action is just weird, so it's just not as favorable as I like. But also it's just a clear buy day, so that's just what it was. Because what was 9:30? Yeah, 9:30 went up. I mean, it came back and tapped us into a nice fair value gap on the 15-minute. And then take the trade to liquidity, hopefully, is the trade. Yeah, see, ICT it just helps me. Honestly, ICT just helps me predict the market. Now, me trading it and his optimal trade entries and all that other stuff, I can see why people don't like it. But for me, I predict the markets like 90% of the time, ICT. Now, trading it effectively and not getting faked out or scared or have my stop loss too tight and getting stopped out and it goes my way, those are things I'm working on. That's why I'm backtesting. But as far as like ICT, like I just know where the market's going so often. That's why I like it. But I get it. If it's not for everyone, and I tell people that on my channel all the time. I'm like, your journey, you need to find something that clicks. Like I watched ICT and TJR and I was like, I understand that. I can trade that tomorrow. Like I instantly like was trading it like a month later, versus like when I was learning like other things, supply and demand, trend lines, support and resistance. It was not clicking for me to trade. I was getting in learning overload. So it depends. What do you mean ICT late entry? That's not supply zone. That's a fair value gap. That's not a supply zone. So. And I don't mind a late entry sometimes. Obviously, you went down the 5-minute and got a better entry off of there is no better entry actually, unless you just got in right when it hit the fair value gap, but you always want to wait because it could invert it. So you wait for the candle close above, which it did right there. There was no gaps to trade off of. Supply and demand gets better entry. I disagree. Like I said, that's you. Like, that's what you trade. That's what you trade. I disagree. Because I feel like supply and demand, you enter without a confirmation. Like, you'd have to wait for it to leave a zone for me or disrespect it. So I feel like you're just getting in as soon as it hits the zone. Like, I don't know. But again, like I said, whatever works for you. Y'all should go live and let me join so I can see it. Because I obviously don't know what I'm doing. So I can't really get on here and be like, oh, supply and demand. Because I don't really know what the T is. Okay, so next, ICT, just sticking to the regular strategy until we find one. I can back test differently. We already swept these highs, and then we have a high here. So we're kind of back up in we're back up in an uptrend at this point. We could reverse from here, but it's looking like we want to keep going up. Maybe even take out some all-time highs, but let's see. And then on the 5-minute, on the sell side, we have just these London. We'll do the Asian low here, and there's a low here. So, but yeah, my lives are just ICT concepts too, though. So if you don't really fuck with ICT concepts, I get it. You don't have to watch my lives every day. Nice rejection. Not really change of state. Market trigger shift down here. We do get a change of state delivery under this candle. But I do think like ICT, there's so many new concepts coming out, like candle range theory and daily profiles and all this stuff. They're probably old. I just probably didn't watch them, but it's like, please, you don't need that to trade. You just need liquidity and you need imbalances. That's it, in my opinion. I do think order blocks, so yeah, I guess supply and demand do give you better entries, but I do think, I've always said that about order blocks. They give you better entries, however, you won't get tapped in as often. Like, you'll miss more trades than you'll get off a fair value gap. Like, I've seen it tap into fair value gaps. Okay, that's what I said, no. And we did get market trigger shift, so that was just one we lost. There's just times where you just will miss a trade, and I personally don't like that. I'd rather catch the move, so we could play off this inversion here. But we did get a candle close below it, and it looks like it still wants to go up. Or this could be one of those ones where I'm right, and I just have my stop loss too tight. It's also just trading sideways. But yeah, technically your stop loss is the swing high up here, so this might just not have been a good trade because it's less than a 1-to-1, and it's trading sideways. But it went my way, so that's my problem too. Like, I either need to not take the trade, or I cannot be scared of tight stop losses. Like, I just cannot, because I'm right. So just don't take the trade, or let the trade play out, because that's the only thing about ICT I don't like. Sometimes, like, the candle, the swing high or the swing low before the reversal is the stop loss. And if the candle's just fat like that, it's just fat like that, and you have to accept it or don't take the trade. Let's see if it keeps going and maybe gets up to 1 to 1.5, because I do that sometimes. Just take it for a little extra just to, make it worth it. And usually the market will give you that. If you have a big stop loss, it'll usually give you more, but sometimes it won't. And in this condition, I wasn't confident in us keep going. Like, we're lower. I felt like we were going to zigzag in here, which we did. So, not a bad trade, or just a trade you just wouldn't have taken. Or maybe you could have got a better entry on the 1 minute. Yeah, you probably would have got a better entry on the 1 minute, but you still would have, that just would have been a day. Not trying to be that guy, just trying to help the kid out. I spent 5 years jumping strats. I haven't jumped any strats, actually. I did, so in 2020, I started trading. I started in 2020. I traded support resistance. I charted it very well, but back then, everyone was telling us to watch, 4 or 5. I was doing options trading. I was watching, like, Apple, Tesla, and all these stocks. So I'd watch one, and then this one would move, and vice versa. So I probably would have been a really good trader with support resistance if I stuck with it and only stuck with one. But now everyone's like, stick with one, thing to trade. So I knew NASDAQ and, ES, or really just NASDAQ now, but I was ES. But I haven't switched strategies. I traded ICT since I started last year in October, and I haven't let up. And that was the only time I took trading seriously. I was like, I'm going to take trading seriously this time. I found ICT first. I just found TGR's bootcamp. It worked for me, which was crazy. And trading kind of came naturally to me, I guess. It made sense to me. I watched ICT, Mentorship in like a week. I watched the charts for a month, like they both said, and just marked up like we're marking up now, but on the live chart without taking trades. And then in October, that was September, and in October, I started taking trades. And I just flipped my options account like 100 to 200 to 300. And then I started funded accounts in the beginning of 2024, and I've kind of not really I've been all over the place since I tried fundeds because the rules have been fucking with me. But ICT could say the same thing about your strategy. Exactly. Everyone works different. I mix both. Most people do mix both because I think a lot of people, even retail or support and resistance, supply and demand, everyone trades liquidity now. I feel like everyone learns that. But yeah, I don't jump strats, and I've only been trading for 10 months. 5 years is crazy. Support and resistance literally makes zero sense to me. Yeah, it made sense to me, but it's like the entries were so. I couldn't master entry, and that's what ICT changed for me, like the optimal trade entry. Like with ICT, I'm waiting for my entry. Like I see what the market's doing, and I'm waiting. I'm always ready to enter. Versus like with supply and demand and all the other strategies, I felt like I always had to be like ready to enter at any moment and not knowing when I'm gonna be entered in. It's just gonna happen. I have to be ready. Versus ICT, like you're just chilling until you see something, and then now you see something that is gonna give you an entry soon. So you're like peacefully waiting for the entry. Versus like with supply and demand or support and resistance, I feel like I always had to be like watching the charts, ready to like click. Like, and that's why all those retail traders use hotkeys. Most ICT traders do not use hotkeys or the DOM, whatever the fuck you have to use. I don't like the DOM at all. But a lot of people who trade like retail have to use that because you have to get in like super fast. Versus like me, I do not. I'm literally waiting so much on my lives, as y'all have seen. And that's what helped me, honestly. So yeah, whatever works for you. Next session, we finally broke. But yeah, that was a ash trade, but it worked. It went our way. So, and that's my thing. I like to trade every day and find a setup because there is a setup every day. It might not be a 1 to 3 or a 1 to whatever, but the market does the same shit, maybe just with less volatility. Alrighty, so what do we have here? But yeah, just whatever makes sense. And then you could do like Garland. Like Garland trades made so much money from ICT, and now he trades, break and retest at 9:30. Like, but he made so much money from ICT first, so you can make money and then switch later, which I feel like a lot of people do because once you have millions of dollars, you can catch little moves. It's just like when I watch like professional traders now, I'm like, that is crazy. Like Nor trades, he'll be like, oh, and when this candle closes, and the candle, he takes like a trade like one candle, and then he's just off the charts. I'm like, how what? Like there's no like confluence or story or bias. I mean, I'm sure there is one, but like it just, when you're looking at it as a beginner and you see on Instagram or TikTok where they don't show how or all the bias like we're doing now, it just looks like he just entered off anything. And just since he's risking, 5K to make 10K, in 2 seconds, he made 10K and he's done. Same with like Charlotte, I think, the FX trader. No, she actually has a bias and stuff. Like she will show you like, she'll be like, oh, when we get up here, we're gonna get in sales and we're gonna go like, this is the trade you want for like a beginner. You want a nice trade, and she'll take it and then sell right here because she made 20K. Like, so she'll actually show you, which I appreciate that. Versus most people, once they get rich, they just start taking trades. They don't show you, and then, which they don't have to, and then it's just a simple like candle and they're done. And you're like, well, I took that candle and I made 2 cents. 9:30, let's see, 9:50 to 10:10. We're already close to this liquidity, so we might as well just let it happen. We did get a little inverted in here, but that's before 9:30. Let's see if we get a reaction. It's a nice turtle soup, but let's wait till we inverse and close below this. We have some close liquidities above that. I'm like, see, that's why you wait. Even though we did get a candle close, but this candle really showed its ass. And this is a regular fair value gap tap. Came in, gone higher. You could trade this after you let that second candle close and take it to here for a nice almost 1 to 3, because this kind of would have faked you out. But I feel like I usually wait for like a little more of a candle close sometimes. This would have sucked if it faked you out. It happens to the best of us, but it did come in to just go higher, like a regular fair value gap the normal way. And it happened to enter our macro. And I'm sure in the 1 minute it gave an inversion on this red. candle. So yeah, let's go to the next one. Next day. And this is just how you trade ICT. For me, I mean, I guess if it's supply and demand, there is like a demand zone order block here at 9:30 for a better entry, but we wouldn't have gotten into 9:50, which is this candle. Or maybe even, I mean, or I also thought about trading breaker blocks more. Because like I said, so it's like basically order block is like the lowest point of an entry, you know, if there's a market structure shift, and then you have the fair value gap. That's a little better, that's a little higher, and then the breaker is above the fair value gap. So basically, if you wait for just order blocks, you'll get like the best entry possible, and then if you wait for fair value gaps, you get a better entry. But if you just wait for breakers, you'll get the least good best of the entries, but you'll be tapped in the most. You know what I'm saying? Like, so say you don't get tapped in your order block on this. This is obviously not a good of a setup, but you don't get tapped in your order block, and then you'll be like, damn, it ran up. You didn't trade that day, which some people are okay with that. I personally, though, want to catch. I hate when moves go my way and I'm not tapped in. So I feel like fair value gaps tap the most, but also that's why I get in at the market structure shift. I don't even fucking wait for it to come back into the breaker. I don't wait for it to come back into fair value gap. I don't wait for nothing. Yeah, my entry's bad. My stop loss is a little big, but I'm in there as soon as we candle close above something, and then that is my trade. And then the stop loss is a little fat, but I'm in that thing. So to each their own, though. If you to wait for order blocks and get that 1 to 13, like, do it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, liquidity up here, sell side here, and then we kind of have some equal lows here. I mean, it's not equal low. So what is your main focus right now? What are you looking for every single session? It sounds like you're conflicted a little between what you're looking for. No, I do it every time. I look at buy side liquidity and sell side liquidity, and then I look in the macro, and then I see if once we hit a liquidity point, if we're going to reverse or keep going. So that's what that last trade was. Mostly looking for reversals, but like I said, I like to trade, you know, off of fair value gap is my thing, and a market structure shift or continue a breaker structure. But no, I just trade liquidity to liquidity. And then yesterday, obviously, we just ran up. So once we got a confirmation that we went to go up and we bounced off that fair value gap, we went higher. And then I played higher. Or that's a day that you don't trade if you stick into only reversals. I want to do clear continuations, though. I don't want to just take any continuation. Okay, we kind of got turtle soup here going on. We didn't leave it for a fair value gap, though. We have this long wick. So maybe wait for change of state and delivery. But this is a big candle too. See what I'm saying? That stopped you out on your original trade. There's sometimes you gotta. Okay. Okay, I mean, that one just would have sucked. We probably would have missed that. I don't think in real time. This is the 5-minute chart too. Maybe would have went to the 1 minute after this, but we either would have just missed this trade, got in late. Maybe we would have got in at the close of this candle. But to me, if this candle closed below this and then this candle started for like an entry down here, I would have took this trade. But it's closing above here, it's still showing like the next one could be green. I wouldn't have maybe taken this, but it did the thing. So, and it was a turtle soup. Now, if you got a good turtle soup entry, and then you could have had a stop loss above like this, good for you. This is a real professional turtle soup, which it was pretty clear. It was a clear turtle soup, but it's just like on the 5-minute, it was very not clear. Yeah, I love a good turtle soup, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then especially like, okay, maybe we would have took the turtle soup and got in a little later. We would have got scared as shitless here. But if, like I said, if you get your, even if you put your stop loss above that candle to get stopped out. You know, like say we got stopped out. Look how small this stop loss is. Like you got stopped out, and then you would have got right back in, and then you would have got in maybe on the next one. You would have lost like $2 or whatever the fuck to make, you know, it back and then some. You know, so who knows with this one. And I'm trying to get better at like switching my contract sizes and switching from the 5 minute to the 1 minute depending on the conditions, and or just not trading. I haven't figured out which one is best for me yet, because I just love trading. I like trading, and as you see, I read the markets really well. It's just like executing and learning when to like that trade. Yeah, you were right, but was it worth taking? That is what I need to look at. Okay, so it actually weren't running down the rest of the day. I mean, not the rest of the day, but for a while. So that late entry would not have even fucking mattered. That's the good thing about big stop losses. Most of the time, if your stop loss has to be big, the market's like, I got you. I'm still gonna run for a 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. You know, usually the market's like, yeah, you might have to risk more than you want to, but you'll make more than you wanted to. Like I would say, like 70% of the time. Obviously, when you give a big stop loss and you lose, that shit hurts. It hurts your soul. But, you know, we cannot be scared. I've been journaling that today. Like, don't be scared of big stop losses, because that's been my problem. I've been right and then having my stop loss very tight and getting stopped out. Or like a trade like this, like getting stopped out on this. If I got in on the first one, that just really sucked. And I might have got back in, but it just like, it kind of kills your vibe when you lose a trade like that. As a beginner, I'm still a beginner. And that's when you can tell I'm a beginner. The emotions and the patience. The strat is fire. But yeah, I just like mark sell side, buy side. I'll mark a gap if we're in it or not in it sometimes. Wait for a reaction on something. And ICT said that it's a sound trending on it's a sound trending on TikTok where he's like, just look for a point of liquidity on the 5 minute. I mean, between 9:30 and 11. Wait for it to get demolished and rejected, and then when it reverses, trade off of it. And that's really how I trade. Okay, we do have an internal liquidity sweep here, but we're so close to this gap. Let's just see if we tap into it in reverse or close above it and go higher. Let's mark out our macros. And I do this on live every morning. And I call it even if I make a mistake. Like, hey, I might not take this trade, but this is the trade I should have waited for. And then, you know, people take the trade to make money even if I didn't, and vice versa, you know. So it's part of the game. Okay, we'll mark this inversion for value gap just in case we do want to go back down from here. Make it green. I use different colors for mine. I know a lot of people like use the same color for theirs. I don't. I make mistakes still. I definitely say that, no doubt. Yeah, it's like it sucks too when like we know what we're doing. Cause I feel like you know what you're doing. You be in my lives. Like we know what we're doing, as y'all see, and that's why like people have been asking me to teach them. I'm like or like mentor them. I'm like, no, like just do these lives. Like learn to read the charts, because you might execute better than me, and then you're gonna be mad that you traded with me. And or I mean I guess you wouldn't be mad I mentored you, because if I told you how to read the markets, then you just know how to read the markets. But when the trade is clear, it's clear. Exactly. When the trade is clear, it's clear. We love a clear trade. My problem is to only trade the clear trades. Okay, here's the thing. I hate when it's like this. Okay, so we got a clear candle close below this one, but we didn't officially close out of this hourly one. So you can wait for that, or you can get in. Since we're back tested, we're gonna get in. Or you could have waited for it to retrace back into this gap, which it did, so we'll do that. We'll do stop loss above this candle here. Or we'll just do, that fucking swing high. That's so far. And then take it down to this liquidity point for 1 to 2.2. Let's see. And we lost. So that sucks. See a big stop loss and you lose. Sucks. So, but it did close out of that gap here. But that sucks. And then you could have gotten back in, but even not really, because this candle closed so close to that. so close to already halfway there, so that just sucks. As soon as we just would have lost. Or technically, because like I said, on my chart, my fair value gap indicator is on. So there is another fair value gap here, which is something I also do on live. If I'm in a trade going the opposite way and we have a fair value gap, right? Once we candle close above this, I'm out. I'm closing this trade for a smaller loss. You see what I'm saying? So we inverted this one to go down, even though I said I was scared to, we were out. But we inverted this, we lost the trade. Okay, boom. Now you can get back in if you wanted to, or your loss is at least smaller because you know we inverted this one now. And that is a better entry to take it to this point. Like that. Boom. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I should have done on, I think it was either Thursday. I got faked out on the 1 minute. It was just like this, like two fair value gaps. I entered sells on one, and then on the 5 minute, on the 1 minute we were here, and then we closed above one. I got out, but that was already my second trade of the day, so I didn't get back in, but I wanted to get back in because that was that day where it was obvious we were buys. There was no liquidity to reverse from like this. It was like way up here, and it was the only point the market was going to. I think I can show you. Yeah, that was this day. There was no point of liquidity to go to. I don't even think we still hit it. There's a gap here, and it was like this point here. Like there's no, it's the wrong day. Sorry, it's the wrong week. I was like, that's not it. Here, we haven't even hit it yet. There's no liquidity to reverse from on the 1 hour, 30 minute, 15. Like it's just nothing there. So I was like, we're going here. And then I was on the 1 minute, and that's why I switched back to the 5 minute. This was the day that made me switch back to the 5 minute. I got in a trade. Yeah, I think it was Thursday. I got in a trade and got stopped out. I got in a buy trade, like over here somewhere. And then once we inverse the second trade, I got back in or something. I can't really remember. Once we inversed, I got in, and then once we inversed this one, I closed the trade. And then we had these two here, and then we ran up the rest of the day. And this is a trade most of the gurus caught. Because on the 5 minute, it was so clear. Because I went to the 5 minute and realized we didn't even, I had it marked, like once we inverse this one, we're going down, but we never did. We just tapped in, went higher. So then I was like, fuck, we're going higher. So that's why now I'm back in the 5 minute, because you won't get faked out as much. You won't. Like tapped it, inverse this, went. Like it just respects the gaps more. You know what I'm saying? It respects the gaps more. We did get a little, not even a market structure shift. Looks like you could have got faked out almost, but we didn't. We wicked below it. We kind of candle closed below it, but not really. And then we went back up. So it's like the 5 minute, your entries might be worse, but you'll get faked out a lot less, I've learned. So that's why on the 5 minute here, we did get a little faked out, but at least you knew your stop loss would have been shorter, and then you could have got back in and made all your money back and then some. So that's what I like. And/or, so I'm working on that. And I'll be paper trading next week. And I had to work on my lot sizes, which I did live yesterday. Like you should go on here, put on your paper trading on TradingView, get your order ready here on the side, or you can do it in the middle, and play with your contract sizes and play with 58 ticks to 100, or 70 ticks, or actually if you were to take this trade, use the tool. Obviously, and then the tool tells you where you would enter, where your stop loss, where your take profit is. You just type it in here, and then you just see if you need to what you should be risking on a certain trade. And I learned that even with my stop loss being huge, I can still use 4 micro contracts for my full porting strategy. I use 5 15-minute 1 hour structure to take my interest in the 1 minute. Yeah, I used to. I think maybe I do need to go back and forth between the 5 minute, 1 minute. But like I said, like how we trade this strategy, once you break above something, you're already on the lower time frame, so you get faked out. You're gonna get faked out either way. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I like to sit on the 5. Like once we break and get like a turtle soup on the hour, then we're on the 5. So if I go straight to the 1, which is what I was doing, we back tested it. I was going on the 1, and then I still was getting faked out. Cause it was, especially this week and last week, we were trading sideways so much before we got our entries that I played it kind of patiently on the 1 minute. But like if you just waited for the 5 minute, you didn't get faked out that much. Like this was just chatter. But on the 1 minute, it was just inversing, and you know, some of us, like, we took some losses and then we made it back, obviously. But the 1 minute just is a little different. I know you get better entries because I used to trade on the 1 minute only. I loved it, but then I started getting faked out too much. It was pissing me off. Like even here, I waited for the candle close up here on the 5 minute, and how I stop loss too tight, but I should have got it on this first one and just trusted it. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I can't trade the 1 minute anymore because with my strategy, it's just not, I'll get faked out. And I'm trying not to get faked out because I'm trying to full port. If I wasn't full porting, then yeah, I don't mind taking 2 trades. But like I said, I'm trying to get funded in like 2 or 3 trades, so I can't really risk losing too many trades, even if I know where it's going. You know what I'm saying? Because technically, that's what the strategy is. You start on the hour, you market, you get a turtle soup, and then you go on the 5 minute or the 1 minute, and then you see, you know, what it's gonna do. And on the 1 minute, you'll be like faked out too many times. And a lot of people have said that. There's a whole bunch of YouTube videos on that. Like your 1 minute is killing your trading. I think now that I trade IF inverted value gaps, they hold a lot more, but I've still gotten faked out on them more than I have on the 5 minute. So, but again, to each their own. But I had to leave the 1 minute alone for my peace of mind. I'd be trigger happy on the charts. So we have liquidity. We're kind of in range. Kind of looks like this might be a market structure shift, honestly. And then we do have this gap here, so it could come in here, liquidity sweep and go higher. It could just, you know, keep going low to rebalance a little bit. I hate when it does it. It adds this like extra line for no reason. But if you like the 1 minute, do it. I can't do the 1 minute anymore. I can't. I'm trying to bounce between the 2 though. Cause there's times when the 5 minute does not look good, and I should be on the 1, and you know, like vice versa. I'm trying to get good at like bouncing between the 2, like whatever one's better that day. But I just don't like that, and I don't like having 4 screens open on my laptop because then I can't see shit. But I need to get a bigger screen. So, but I'm in my digital nomad phase right now, so it's hard. But I think I'm gonna get like the tri screen that I connect to my laptop, and that might help. Like a 1 minute, a 5 minute, and 15, or 1 minute, a 5 and an hour, or something like that. Because I used to do that. I used to do the 3. I used to do it like this, but it just was getting too hard to watch on the laptop. So I just went back to 2, like, and now I do bounce between time frames. I do ES on this side, NQ on this side, and I bounce between for SMT, and then once I see my liquidity swept, I just go to the 5 minute. Okay. So here we are. We're not in our macro yet. So we're chilling. Hopefully it just, you know, reverses back up. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. And we did inverse this gap here. And we bounced out of a 1 hour for value gap, which is very nice. I gotta stop saying so much. Take it to the other side. I think that stop loss is big enough. Below that big ass candle, so annoying. Technically, the swing low before the reversal is down here though. So, but again, that is just so dumb in my opinion. But I know people who trade only 1-to-1s or you can go up here and have your stop loss a little bigger if you want it to be. So, and they're profitable, so it's just whatever works best for you. I don't know if it's going to the second, because that's how I trade. I trade just want liquidity to liquidity. Like, I don't need to catch all of them, and that's why I'm like, I'd rather have my tighter stop loss, because I don't need to go all the way up here. Obviously, if this is the first one, then yes. But same with like yesterday, everyone was telling me to take it to the daily highs, and my target was here, and it only hit here. It didn't go to the daily highs, so. You know, there's days where, like I said, I'm just catching those trades that are like almost 100%. Honestly, a lot of my trades happen like every day, and it hit 85-90% of the time if I trade them correctly. You know, just take it liquidity to liquidity and move on about your day. And you can trade this every day, and it's not a small ass scalp move. It has a story and conviction to it. You know, it's not just getting in and just doing shit, which, again, if that works for you, I'm not here to shit on anyone's strategy at all, because if you're making money, you're making money. I need to redo my Fibonacci, though. I feel like my Fibonacci, or I see people have like multiple Fibonacci's. Like, they have like a regular one, and then they have like just one that's just like discount premium, and they just have like different ones. I feel like I want that, because my regular one, sometimes I don't need, I just need like the 50% one, or like just a golden pocket one. And I feel like mine has like 50% and golden pocket and 60%. It has like all this stuff in it. And I'm just like, sometimes I don't want that. All right, here's our targets for buy side, because we're already above all these. There's one here, like some smaller ones. I guess we can mark them, but we're already almost there, which I guess we should mark, I guess, because it can then just reverse from one of these. Let's go back on a 5-minute. Big news candle, so sell side will just be the bottom. Let's see if we just rebalance a little bit and go higher, or if we want to. These are the days I use trend lines, honestly, because if it comes down, I'll draw a trend line for it to break back up to get a better entry if it continues up, versus waiting for it to come out of the gap. Well, let's see. 950 to 1010. Okay, it went up first, so it looks like we want to go back down. Or we could continue. I mean, this didn't tap into the gap, because the gap starts under this line. So we didn't even tap into the gap, so usually at least we'll tap into the gap a little bit when we get on the chart. So let's see. There's a bunch of liquidity up here, so alrighty. This is a nice market structure shift, regular way down type situation. What does it look like on the hourly? We getting some CRT going on here. I mean, YOLO. Let's see, we can take it just to this swing high. We had 2 swing highs made. And then you can just take it for, you have to get greedy on this one. Just do 1 to 2, 1 to 2.5. Stop loss isn't terrible. And okay, it was trading sideways and we got stopped out. Now, if you had held it at the most prominent swing high, it is trading sideways and it just continued higher. Yeah, this is just, I mean, it's going up, but it's definitely trading sideways. Actually, it's kind of still in the range. So yeah, I just went to trade. It is going up, but it's slowly going up. So this was a day you wouldn't trade, or you would have caught another inversion for value gap here somewhere. then your original stop loss would have been shorter if you wanted to get in there. Because this was kind of confirming me like, oh, we might still actually push down. And then we didn't. What does my fib look like? My fib is rainbow. And it's nasty. But it has all the important levels. Okay, so basically this is why my fib is a lot. My fib has 50%, 50%, right? So this is what premium and discount. But then we have also the golden pocket. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, I want one fib for each of these. And then I have a fib of standard deviation. So if you know what standard deviation is, it's when like if you're in a trade and you're at an all-time low or all-time high, or there's no target for liquidity, you can target these for your exit. So say you get in a trade in the golden pocket and you can target, any of these for your trade. So great fib, but you see what I'm saying? Like I want just a fib that only shows standard deviation. Then I want just a fib that shows the 50%, like the white line and the 50 and then the 100%. That's it. And then I want another fib that's just 0, golden pocket, 100%. I see people, so I don't know if people just switch between their fibs, like they just reset their settings, or they only use one or the other, or do they just use their fib like this all the time? I have no idea, but there has to be a way to save like multiple fibs. But all of these are important. Golden pocket is important. 50% is important. Standard deviation is important. I rarely use standard deviation, so I guess I probably could do without that. But you see what I'm saying? Like those are all important, but do I need them all at once? But like especially premium and discount and golden pocket are maybe the main two. Standard deviation we're not going to need for a while, I feel like, unless if we actually market crash, then we'll need it. But if we keep like just rebalancing and like coming up and then targeting lows and then targeting highs, we'll be fine. But standard deviation, like we were using it in the spring when we were at all-time highs. That's when we're using standard deviation, when we were like having all-time highs and we wanted more profit targets, and we were just targeting, didn't know where to take our profit, so we had to use standard deviation. But yeah, I want a cleaner fib. It's templates, right? That's what I thought. I gotta play around with it because I want them to be split up. Yes. Maybe I'll save the template I'll save this one as everything. I don't do this online with y'all. And then I'll do one that's just but wait a minute, I'm scared. Is this gonna save just this movement here? Or I get to draw it every time. But yeah, that's true. I'll just do the templates and I'll make them, which is good. Do you know how to create those? Yes, I do. Just being lazy. I know how to create templates. So yeah, I'll do one for everything, one for golden pocket, one for premium discount, and one for standard deviation, and then yeah. Thank you. I forgot all about that. But yeah, we've been on live for a while, even though it's only been an hour and 13 minutes, but I feel like that's long. It's Saturday night. Go have fun. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Tomorrow we'll backtest. We'll keep backtesting this. Maybe we'll practice 5 minute to 1 minute switching on the execution, and maybe practicing like 2 trades like this. Like if we lost the first one, take a second one. And I'm trying to see if there was a place we could take profit on this one. I mean, technically we could have took profit here if we wanted to, and then got in a trade. Because what was the trade? Something like candle close below. Okay. It was something like this. I mean, that's not the best risk to reward, but Still over a 1-to-1, and then got back into this trade. Don't piss me off. For a 1 to. Ooh. I mean, that should be going higher. Should. But see, I don't want to risk it. See, I just go liquidity to liquidity. I mean, those are two terrible trades actually. So, but this is how you could have traded it. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Good session. If y'all have any ideas of what to backtest tomorrow, like they were talking about supply and demand, but I'm not good at it. But if you have any other ICT strategies, we might can try like just a silver bullet or just a 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock hourly candle thing. We might can try tomorrow. But just let me know what y'all want to see, and then just say it in the chat tomorrow. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Are you down to be?